Suppose a function f is continuous on a closed interval between x equals to a and x equals to b, and then f of a and f of b have opposite signs. So under these circumstances, it is sufficient to show that there is a zero between a and b. So let's use the first picture right over here. So we have x equals to a and then x equals to b. So when x is equals to a, we have f of a below the x-axis. When x is equals to b, we have f of b above the x-axis. So if the function is continuous between a and b, that means we are going to connect these 2 points using a curve, and there is no asymptotes and no discontinuity on this curve. So we simply draw a curve to connect these 2 points. So when you do so, you have to go across the x-axis. When you go across the x-axis, I have a point at x equals to c, such that f of c is equals to 0. So this is a solid point when x is equals to c, y is equals to 0. So this is the first case scenario. What if a is above the x, f of a is above the x-axis and f of b is below the x-axis? Same rule. You sketch a curve to connect these 2 points, or you can do it like that. And then when you do so, you have to go across the x-axis. So at that point, we have x equals to c, such that f of c is equals to 0. And then this point, when x is equals to c, y is equals to 0. As soon as you go across the x-axis, I can prove that the 0 exists. What is 0? The word 0. 0 is meaning just like x-intercept. Sometimes we call this a 0. So let's use this example, x to the third plus x squared minus 4x minus 4. Let's prove that there is a 0 between negative 0.5 and positive 3. So first of all, let's plug in a and b. So plug in a and b. So we have f of negative 0.5. So that is negative 0.5 to the third plus negative 0.5 squared minus 4 times negative 0.5 minus 4. So this is equals to negative 1.875. Plug in x equals to 3. We have 3 to the third plus 3 squared minus 4 times 3 and then minus 4. That is equals to 20. So as you can see, they have opposite signs, right? So that means there exists a c, and c is between negative 0.5 and positive 3, such that f of this value is equal to 0. How do you find this value? To do so, you have to set the entire function equal to 0. So x to the third plus x squared minus 4x minus 4, that is equals to 0. All right, and then since we have 4 terms, the highest degree is 3, it is good to try factor by groups. All right, factor by groups. So the way we do this, so let me copy this line one more time. And then let me erase this extra stuff. So we copy this one more time, make it a little bit bigger. So how do you do factor by groups? So we group the highest 2 degree right here, and then we group the last 2 terms. All right, did I miss anything extremely important? The answer is yes. You group the last 2 terms, right? And then this is a minus. That means you will have to change that to a plus. Once you distribute the minus, you have your minus 4x, and then you have a minus 4. What if the sign is a plus? Then you don't have to do anything. All right, so if you don't change that to a plus, that will just lead you to a huge mistake. Moving on. And then we factor x squared, so we have x plus 1. And then this we factor a 4, so we have x plus 1 as well. That is equals to 0. And then we factor this common factor, so which is x plus 1. And then we have x squared minus 4 equals to 0. Keep moving. And then you have x plus 1, and then x squared minus 4, that is x plus 2 times x minus 2 equals to 0. So as a result, x equals to -1, -2, and +2, right? So which one is necessary and which one is not? So since our interval is -0.5 to +3, closed interval, which one should I keep? I have to keep what? Do I need the -1? The answer is no, right? So -1 and -2, they are outside of the parentheses, so it is not necessary to keep them because they are not in the interval. So what we need at the end is a 2, right? So when x is equals to 2, what happens? So c is equals to 2. I should do this. C is equals to 2. So this is my answer. When c is equals to 2, and then you plug it in, so you have 2 to the third plus 2 squared minus 4 times 2, and then minus 4. What do you get? You get a 0. So when x is equals to 2, y is equals to 0, and then this x equals to 2 is between -0.5 and then 3. And then this picture explains everything for you. So you have a function. This function is x to the third plus x squared minus 4x minus 4, and then you have this graph, and we are only interested between -0.5 and +3, right? So +3 is right over here, and then -0.5 is right over there. So we are only interested from starting at this point, and then we go all the way to 3, right? But 3, you can see it. You can see I already cut the graph. So when x is equals to 3, y is equals to 20. So we have a point below the x-axis, and then we have a point above the x-axis. So when you draw a curve to connect these 2 points, you have to go across the x-axis, which is right here, one time. So when do you go across the x-axis? That is right here. So when x is equals to 0, that is where you go across the x-axis. And then this is a 0. So the point 2, 0 is a 0 of this function. Alright, so that is the end of this video. If you think my instruction is helpful and clear, give me a like, share the video for me, subscribe to my channel if you're on your way out. I appreciate your help and support. More instruction and help will be coming up in the future video. Signing off for now.